All right, so I do want to get to earnings, but first, before I do, I want to get your take on some of those comments we got from President Biden last night. This push to have any adult American, be able to receive a vaccine starting May 1st, be able to, I guess, essentially return to normal by the 4th of July. You have a lot of insights, a lot of data that you've been pulling around vaccine distribution. Is it feasible? Can we do it?
I think we can. You know, we're partnered with the CDC and Vaccine Finder, and we actually have what I think is the most popular vaccine appointment site on the internet right now. We've had over 1.2 million people sign up to get alerts from us when there are appointments near them. And we're seeing great data. We're seeing lots of consumers getting their shots. And we do believe that the inventory is out there and people are getting it faster and faster. And we're very hopeful that we'll have a great reopening this spring.
All right. So shares of GoodRx are under pressure this morning, that miss in terms of EPS, but it was a really strong year, 2020, for the company. You had a record number of monthly active consumers, doubled paid subscribers, and then also record hiring. You almost doubled the number of employees last year as well. Are you surprised to see the stock down as much as it is?
You know, I don't spend my days focused on the stock. I'm incredibly proud of our performance. Over 800,000 subscribers, record metrics across the board in terms of monthly active consumers, revenue. We had over 18 million people use GoodRx in January. So, you know, stock's going to do what the stock's going to do, but we're going to focus on building great products and helping Americans as they get out of this pandemic, because behind this, you know, is the other healthcare crisis that we have, which is people still can't afford their medications and they can't afford their care. And that's where I'm focused.
Obviously, your subscriber base did increase. I'm looking here by 102% year over year, Q4 19 to Q4 20. But Doug, what are your expectations in terms of your ability to continue to grow in that kind of fashion? Obviously, it's hard to grow at 100% consistently. But what are you seeing in terms of the trends, given there does seem to be some concern amongst your investor base today in your ability to do so?
You know, COVID was a weird year, right? 2020, we had lockdowns across the board, and I'm so proud of our financial performance and, more importantly, the value we could deliver to consumers and the solutions when things were locked down and doctors couldn't see patients. I believe over 1 billion undiagnosed conditions are sitting out there, and consumers are just now reemerging to talk to their doctors and go back to the pharmacy and re-engage around their healthcare, except this time there's a new way to do it using GoodRx and all these incredible services that have launched over the course of this pandemic. So we really do believe that there's a grand reopening happening in this country, and people are going to go out there and find new ways to consume their healthcare, and we expect to benefit from that. We're very, very excited about 2021 and returning to a new normal.
Given the fact that we do have all of these services, all of these products, obviously GoodRx and the growth you've seen in the marketplace as well out there, as that return to normal does happen, something like telehealth, is that here to stay? Are we going to see fundamental changes to the way people are accessing their health care?
It is here to stay. I think not everything. I don't think the whole world is moving to telehealth, but I think for certain services and for categories where it just makes more sense to talk to someone on a Zoom call than necessarily driving to the doctor's office or something like that, there's a great room for telehealth. There's some room for mail order as well. You know, we have over 150 services at GoodRx where someone can see a doctor online, can talk to the doctor in just minutes at a very affordable price. We think that will stick around, and we think we're going to continue to grow and add new services to just make it easier for consumers to find affordable and convenient healthcare. So, yes, we think telehealth has got a place in the future.
Yeah, I wanted to ask about that as well. I mean, we can all imagine why it's been so popular over the last year, but you're talking about people getting back out there and actually getting face-to-face with their doctor. Do you see it then declining in terms of its growth rate?
I think you're going to see some coming off, as, you know, people do like to see their primary care physician. They like to go in the office and get the doctor to put their hands on them and look at those issues in person. However, I think there's lots of categories. Examples, mental health, where a consumer can actually see a therapist without having to leave their house. And I think there's lots of self-diagnosed kinds of things where, a woman's looking for birth control, for example, or you have a skin condition where you can inspect that very well from a remote basis and prescribe. And I think we focus on those steady, simple blocking and tackling conditions where it's easy for a provider to diagnose and provide a safe med to a consumer. So, yeah, there's lots of room for telehealth, but not everything.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.